This on. Okay. Hi. Can you? Hello, Sylvia.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, my hair's a mess. Sorry.
Well, it's a great hair.
Thank you for doing this. Completely
Thank you.
for trusting me, and it's kind of random, but yeah, I could explain really fast that I've done hundreds of these, and it
Yeah.
helps me deal with. I was in the West Bank, and it just helps me deal with it because nobody really wants to talk about that in public, and it just helps me deal with a few things that happened to me about 3 years ago, and
hmm
I've spoke to many people, and it's I've just randomly asking people, and thank you very much for saying yes.
Okay,
Um,
great.
I had
So
a
tell
quick
me all
look.
about it. I have no idea what we're talking about. So I was
Mm,
just curious.
I- I'm just doing like these little conversations online to
Okay.
to deal with, I suppose you could say trauma or something, because I was in
Okay.
Palestine and the situation is driving me a little bit crazy,
hmm
and this helps me a lot. So thank you. This kind of just helps me to process what's going on over there. I don't know how you feel about that. But thank you very much. Anyway, Sylvia,
Okay.
I had a
You're
quick look at
welcome.
your Instagram. We've never met, I don't think.
No, we haven't. No, but I think we have like friends in common.
Definitely. I
Have
mean,
you been have you been to Mallorca?
well, I'm here. I live in Sawyer. I've been here 20 years,
Oh,
so
you're in Sawyer. Oh,
it's weird
okay.
that
Oh
we
my
haven't
gosh.
met
Okay. No, we haven't. We've never met.
because I actually started doing a podcast thing in Espacio Pulpo. Do you know that, Espacio Pulpo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I went there like last month there was an exhibition there for a friend.
Yeah, it looked great. It was boats, the sales of boats, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So you were there?
No, but I just see you see everything online, you know how you see things
Yeah.
online,
Okay, okay.
and you never
Yeah,
make
this
it.
is Roger. He's an English artist and he did something there with also in a collaboration with another girl who did something with the sails. Yeah, like a painting with the sails.
It looked great. And you
Yeah.
also you don't paint, you're making these sculptures with rope, is that right?
Yeah, so I do I like my medium will be weavings,
Mhm.
but I am moving a little bit out of that, like in a very like intuitive way. You know, I'm really stepping out of that only medium as weavings, but I still weave things. So I'm working with words. And I just did a
Words.
performance last week
Oh, wow.
and yeah, and it's a performance that is really a work in progress. I'm moving into something new. I'm not sure what's going to happen. So I did a performance that I called Voices in My Head,
Okay.
and the idea was to write in circle. I write a lot. I love like typography is a thing that I really calligraphy. I love to write, and I like my writing, and like as a, also like a, the gesture of writing is something that I've always done, and I love it. And so the idea was to write in circle nonstop. Like I gave myself like a lot of constraints. Like you cannot look at the setting, you cannot look at the whole picture. You can, a lot of constraints to make it difficult.
Hmm.
And I wrote for 4 hours in circle, and I had a DJ like was experimenting with me, improvising with me also for 4 hours. He couldn't step up his thing and me either, and we couldn't look at anything. And at the end, I have peace, which is like kind of like a thread of thought
Right.
in in circle. And so I'm moving into that.
That sounds great. Were you writing with pen, charcoal, paint? What was it?
I was writing with pen. I have the
Pen.
greatest pens, you know, the Muji
Ah.
paint pens.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
the
Okay.
best
Yeah,
because
they float.
you can really walk into them and they will be like because I was really lying on the painting because on the floor.
Oh,
So and they just dry very fast. So you can really like move into them and there's no they're great. And they last I know now they last for 6 hours. 6 hours of writing nonstop.
hours.
You can
Wow. You must
yeah.
have got
Yeah.
sore wrist.
Well, actually, no, it was very interesting. What I had now you cannot see it, but I had an explosion in my
Oh
eye.
yeah.
That was like my
But
body reacted.
vessel, blood vessel, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think for concentrating too much. You know, nothing
Oh,
serious,
wow.
but it was very dramatic. It was like, oh my God. And no, it was some active meditation. It was the most beautiful thing. It was like really, oh my God. Like I want to do this forever. Like I want to do next
Uh-huh.
time I want to do 8 hours or something.
Really?
It was
Wow.
really, really, really nice. Yeah, it was really, really, really interesting.
And you had an idea, is it like a story or is it more like a poem, I suppose, or just a train of thought or consciousness, stream of consciousness more?
Stream of consciousness
Yeah.
is it's whatever comes. So I really try not to filter
Uh-huh. Oh,
because the
wow.
idea is not to stop writing. You
Okay.
cannot stop writing. So it's
Uh-huh.
kind of like very intimate also. Like I end up saying things like I've done couple of these drawings, like, but only for an hour and a half, 2 hours maximum on my own, alone. And I was like really saying so many intimate things. It's like reading a diary. So it's very interesting because even while I'm writing, I'm like, oh my God, like who is going to read this? Which is interesting, like kind of like just letting, like being very candid. And I think, and then there's just like super incoherent things that come,
Yeah.
like whatever. Like you
Mm.
could correct your words, a change of language. It's like, so it's just an experiment to see
Mm.
and the idea of will I ran out of words at some point. It's like,
Mhm.
but no, of course you don't.
And were you writing in a circle? Is that my understanding? Like, was
Yeah.
that difficult? Did you have a circle first, or was the paper a circle, or was it canvas, or?
No, it's a big paper in the center. So I start with an object that is kind of like the starting point, but it's just like it's like an excuse to have a point to start because I don't really talk about the object, not really. But I think the object sometimes carries some kind of energy that of course
Yeah.
sparks something into the beginning. So I started this time with a rock. It was a beautiful rock from I collect rocks I
Yeah. Me
loved.
too.
So this was a rock from Brazil. You do too?
Always, always, yeah. Always.
So nice.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why. Either
The
I
energy
think
is
I put the
beautiful.
energy into that, or the vibration comes back, or it's an exchange. I think maybe.
It is.
But
It is.
so you start in the middle and you go like a outward spiral.
Exactly. And I
Okay,
start
that
writing.
makes
So the
sense.
beginning is really following the shape of the rock. So when you take it off, you can really have the imprint of the piece, of the object.
Uh-huh.
And then what I do, because I really want this to be like, do you want me to move and to show you
Yes, please.
the
If
piece?
yeah, show me. Yeah,
It's
because I
covered now because it's
just get
still,
the idea of the size. You have a beautiful place. Wow.
the studio is very nice. Yeah.
Are you in the middle of the island? It must be.
I am in Palma.
Oh wow, you have a big place in Palma. Well done. Is it
So
Cascontigo? Oh
this
wow, it's amazing.
this
I
is the
love it.
piece. Yeah.
That's
So
beautiful.
actually, to
Wow,
give
it's
you an
like looks
idea,
like a vinyl record actually. But
yeah.
it kind of does. That's
What was
crazy.
interesting that I was turning, building, and Julian, I don't know if you know him, Julian Smith, he's a DJ.
No.
Very, very nice person, beautiful person, great
Okay.
DJ. And he was DJing on vinyls. So it was really,
Yeah.
he was going on one way and I was going the other way. It was very interesting.
And
He
did you
was
record?
he was decreasing and I was growing.
Did you record? Did you
Yeah,
document it with with a like a movie? It'd make a great movie actually, a 4 hour piece.
we documented it. I have like a stop motion thing that didn't really
Okay.
work
Yeah, yeah.
perfectly, but I have it.
Uh-huh.
And I have a friend who did a shooting, but I mean, this happened 4 days ago, so I still don't have the whole
Yeah.
thing. So,
Sounds like you could do like one a month, something like that. Like a series.
oh my
That would be
gosh,
nice.
yeah,
Do it
yeah,
like a regular
yeah,
thing. This is because I also do performance and make music and collect vinyl. And
yeah.
always the dream is always to get a residency somewhere. And it kind of happens and comes and goes, but it's really hard to that is the way to get people engaged and to make not educate, but just to create a sort of narrative and an exchange because um I'm sure there was an audience there as well, and they affected everything as well. And I think I've talked about it before, like pathos, this word pathos,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and it affects everything, right? It's an exchange.
Totally. It's a total exchange of
Mhm.
energy. You're
Yeah.
finally like getting very. There was something also very interesting about it, that happened physiologically, since my eyes were really, I couldn't look. I didn't know who were coming, who was
Okay.
coming. And we had like cushions all over the place so people can just sit and have this listening session too. And so I was just my eyes were blocked and my ears also were really concentrated in the sound.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden my smell like how you say,
Yeah.
like became like so prominent. And I was smelling people coming in. Like I
No, the
smelled like,
people. Oh my God.
yeah, it was incredible. Like I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, what is this? Like so intense.
Mm-hmm.
And then people came at the beginning and then came afterwards at the end. And I was, oh, this smell these people have already
Ah,
been here.
okay.
So yeah, and even like of course energetically you felt a lot of things, but also physiologically it's like, wow, it's very
Mhm.
interesting how the body just like gives
Yeah,
you all
you
this
lose, I
other
suppose, with
information.
any kind of meditation or in like even like a yoga or something, you do kind of lose sense of time and your senses do increase, all of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then yeah, you get into this state. Even if you're doing sports, there is this, I get it when I'm playing records, you get into this certain point where everything's um, natural, more like a natural process, I suppose.
Flow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
flow. You could call it what you
like
like.
a suspension.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you're trying to get with everything you do, I suppose, with art. Just trying to get to this point. Anyway,
I guess so. I guess so. I guess so. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, yeah.
But can you tell me?
What is it that you do as an art?
Me, I do
As
everything.
art?
But yeah, I've tried. I had a gallery last year in Munich, and I I paint and write and I think everything. Like even just I've always said, even how I bring up my son, I see that it's all art, you know. So,
Nice.
but I'm not at the problem with right now. There's a sort of political problem and a sort of practical problem going on right now regarding living in Mallorca and being able to live that way without, I was having a job or, I don't know if you've ever had like a normal job. Have you?
I did for 5 years. That's all.
Okay. And you're from
But I did
Bogota.
at the beginning.
You're from Bogota,
Huh?
right?
I'm
Bogota.
from Bogota, yeah.
Right, I've
Yeah.
never been there, but you Bogota, like I've had some girlfriends from there and it's wow. I imagine I don't know. Tell me what about your childhood and your school and things like that.
So yeah, I was born in Bogota, and I left Bogota when I was like 22 or something. So I've been out of Colombia a while,
Hmm.
and I studied design there, and then I just left for France. I lived in France for over 15 years, and then I
Before
just
22, like let's say you just go to a normal school in Bogota because I know I've got friends
yeah, I
there
did
and
normal
normal
school
people
there.
have
Yeah,
like and I've seen there's a movie recently I've seen and it's kind of normal to have people working for you in the house. And
yeah, yeah.
there's
I was
like
like
a
kind of like
caste
yeah,
system there. It's really weird. I imagine so you come from an okay background, it looks like, right? So I'm just
yeah,
presuming, yeah. So did you have people
yeah,
working in the house? Yeah,
yeah.
all that
This
stuff.
kind of
Weird,
thing.
right? So that's
Yeah, I
for
mean, for
someone
us, it's super normal.
normal, yeah.
When you come here, it's like, okay, this is not really normal. But for us, it's kind of like, yeah, it's not, but it's not like, don't imagine, like, I mean, I come from a okay family, but it's not like extremely
Mhm.
rich or something. It's just like a high
No,
middle class
no, I
thing.
have many friends from
And
Colombia and they tell me this story and it blew my mind a little bit, but I suppose it's fine. Some people get treated great, some people don't.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thing. It's comfortable. I mean, and then but you don't. When you come after that, and also it depends of your family, if your mom asks you to do things or not, it just
Mhm.
depends. So I think I was very protected. And then when I came to Europe, it was kind of hard, but I was very independent. So I just transformed, all that. I just said, okay, this is my new reality. I clean, I cook, I do all these things, and I'm just okay if I have it or if I not have it. I'm not like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just I completely transformed my experience of, or my, yeah, the way I was growing up. It was, I'm completely a different person. And I left Colombia because, so when I was growing up, we had, I mean, I was born in a civil war, you know,
Oh,
Colombia has been
with
in war forever
the drug
with las
gangs.
FARC and with this cartel and all that. So we grew up in a civil war, you know, even if
Yeah.
you don't see it like that, but it is.
No, I've heard if you
Like
stop the car in the street, it can be dangerous just to stop the car, right? In the
it
city.
is like in the 80s, there were bombs, you know, like
Right, yeah. I remember
you
vaguely, yeah.
passed
Oh,
so
you're not that
we
old.
were
In the 80s? In
I
the
am I
80s?
am older than what I seem like.
Okay. So when you were
I
16,
grew.
when you were 16, what were you buying vinyl or were you going to concerts? I suppose Bogota is different from European culture, but was there a big
Yeah.
band like was it heavy metal or dance music or indie music? What was it you were
Oh
into?
yeah. We're great. We have great music there. There was like this big. It was very important the rock en español. You know, we really were
Mhm.
into this. It was very interesting because I grew in a moment where like identity began to be something important in Latin America. You know, we were used to be like very had a lot of complex of identity. You know, we were looking always as at Europe and the United States are the coolest things, and we were just like parias. You know, we had like this kind of misconception of colonialism, you know, this like heritage of colonialism. And I was really in the moment where like through my also my development as a person, and I see it but because society has changed also at the same time, like in this growth, we became to be very proud of our roots. But and we started to rediscover like we're so mixed. I mean, you can see my skin. I mean, I could look like European, you know, but of
Maybe
course I have.
German. You don't know.
Oh
Do you
no,
have
please
you ever
no. No.
That's funny, but I won't go there.
I would say
I
more
won't get into that.
Italian,
That's
more
hilarious.
Italian or something, you know?
Oh yeah, it could be Italian, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Who
or
knows?
more
But you've
Spanish
never
even.
checked it. You've never done this DNA thing that everybody does. No.
No, but
I've never.
I know I have yeah, I know I have a lot of Spanish blood,
Okay,
which
in
is
Colombia,
normal.
that's normal, yeah.
Yeah, which is normal.
Okay.
And
But was there not like a
so
big pop band that you were into? Like for me, it was the Smiths. I loved and Adam and the Ants. That's how old I am. I really loved
yeah,
Adam and the Ants. So when I was 5 or 6, and I bought their records. But imagine in Colombia, it's not. It's probably more Latin music. Was there a big
rock en
popular
español.
band or like Madonna or
Yeah.
something like that? I was into Madonna as
Yeah, of
well.
course, we had the Smiths, we had Madonna, we had all these things. We were very open to United States. So everything that, I mean,
Yeah.
most of the people speak English, like the bands that we listen to are English bands. But then there was this movement of rock in Spanish that
Right.
came mainly from Argentina.
Okay, I don't know anything about that. Tell me.
Great bands, like amazing great bands. Really, really good.
And still like because I know the Smiths still sort of sound okay now. But do these bands still sound like timeless? Are they okay? You can listen to them now. It's not dated or
Yeah.
anything.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
give
no.
me
And
an
they're like, and
example.
there's great. Well, there's one that was like the biggest one, the most popular, and it was kind of like a The Cure Latin
Okay.
American thing. It's Soda Stereo, Soda like a
Solar stereo, like sun
soda
stereo.
stereo.
Solar, yeah.
Soda is like
Sun.
a drink, like
Ah,
soda,
soda stereo.
soda
Okay, soda,
stereo.
that's different. Okay, I've got it. Okay,
Yeah,
I've never heard of them.
that
Okay,
was
and
very.
you went, did you go and see them in concert and things like that?
Every time I
Ah,
could, it was like
great.
the lead guitarist, the like super gifted
Hmm.
musicians. He died, OD'd, you know, and this
Yeah.
was like a tragedy for all
Ah,
of us. Like it broke our hearts. Like it was like this like hero.
was that before
And
Nirvana or was he young, like 27, like this thing? No.
no, he was a little no, he wasn't really of the 27 club, but he was like I don't know how old he was, but young. I mean,
Okay.
30 something.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that was
well.
really heartbreaking.
And were
And
you
there's a
crying
lot
a
of
lot? Were you crying? Did you actually cry
oh
tears when he died?
oh my God. Yeah, I'm such a yeah, I cry a lot.
Okay.
I
Okay.
need to cry.
I cried when Prince died. I remember that. That was, I
Yeah.
think, the only time I've shed tears for someone that I didn't really know. but Prince affected
Mm.
me a lot.
Oh
So,
wow. Oh wow. Yeah.
okay, and so you kind of had a normal. Did you study in Colombia before you left? Did you study art or anything?
I studied industrial design,
Industrial design. What is that?
which is product design in Colombia. You
Okay,
know, it's like
okay,
it's product design, but
okay.
they call it like that, or they used to call it like that, product
And
design.
you sort. Why did you leave? Is there a simple reason, or was it just adventure, or a boy, or what?
Several reasons. I felt so misunderstood there, like
Mhm.
society. It was like so complicated and closed, and like it
Yeah.
was impossible for me. Bogota was like it became like very difficult. I am very free, you know, and like I am very liberated as a woman, and I was like clashing, you know, breaking all this like
Uh,
walls and like even sexual liberation, all these things in Bogota was but still very, and of course also in the context I was growing up, it
mhm.
was like very, yeah, status thing, you know. It was, I just couldn't stand it anymore. I was really feeling so sick. And also the political situation was impossible to have to imagine you could really have like a future there, because the when I left, Bogota was completely sighted. We couldn't leave Bogota because you will get kidnapped or you will
Ah,
get.
so there's like 10 million or more. Is it more than 10? Is it 10 million or
Now
20?
there's 10. Now
Yeah.
there's 10. No,
And
no, 10.
so I imagine that's quite claustrophobic. If you can't get to nature to see the
You couldn't
sea.
get to nature, you couldn't get to, I mean, this beautiful country.
Yeah, I've seen on this, but I want to go. I'd love to go, but I'm afraid to go because my Spanish isn't so good.
Oh, because of your Spanish. Oh no, but because of security, things have changed. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
no, things has changed.
And you went to Spain, which isn't so much more
No, I went to
progressive.
France.
Okay, so
I went
France
to
is
France.
progressive. Or
I went
Paris.
to Paris.
Okay, so there you go. Completely progressive, completely patriarchy in the bin, and so and a great city actually, one of the best. I imagine 20 years ago was that 20 maybe.
It was 20 years ago. Yeah, it was
Okay,
20 years ago.
spot on. Okay, so Paris 20 years ago must have been great.
It was great. And
Yeah.
and I really have like, I don't know, I suppose I have like some origin from there. I really felt that's my home. Like I completely assimilated French culture, and it's part completely of who I am.
Mm,
I love it. I love it. I love the drama, the intellectual, you know, this kind of like
yeah,
very,
it's great.
I love
Great just
France.
to wander around. And still, I was there last year and just wandering around, getting lost and sit in the park. I can't remember the name. I stayed up in this beautiful park. Not Napoleon, but somebody else called Napoleon made this park up up on
Bout de
top.
Chemin,
I'm not
like
sure.
with the mountains? Bout de
Yeah,
Chemin?
beautiful. But it was closed, this bridge in the mountain. So I stayed right there. And it was a really nice
Okay.
part of town. Where did you stay?
I used to
Alright.
live on the right bank, so it
Okay.
was 11th, 12th, 20, like those areas. And I
Okay.
worked on the first. I always was in left bank.
Left bank, which is more like Saint-Germain and places like that, is it?
No, that's left is, I'm sorry, I have dyslexia. Right bank.
Um, okay, okay.
Completely the opposite, not Saint Germain, the opposite, on the
Mhm.
other side.
Okay, beautiful, yeah. I always like loved going to Père Lachaise and Oscar Wilde and all. I loved that. That was quite near where I was. So, and did you? That must have been tricky regarding. Well, did you getting into the art scene or the work scene or what did you do?
I was working in fashion, so
Okay.
I came to art like slowly, you know, but because of, yeah, family reasons, whatever, you know, you cannot be an artist, you know, this kind of like really
Oh
thing
yeah,
that I really bought into.
yeah, real job
And
sort of thing, yeah.
yeah, so I thought, okay, design is kind of like, I think I can make it. No, but I love design. This is the most beautiful career. I really love it, but it was also like a compromise. And so
What's
then I
your favorite,
went.
sorry, designer or something? Like I like Bauhaus things and I don't know, is there some, I like Macintosh in Glasgow is a really great sort of,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Macintosh,
beautiful.
that
Yeah,
sort of
of
Art
course.
Deco thing is
Yeah.
what I like. Is there
Mm.
something that you liked at that time? That's something that you aspired to?
Like I love, of course, Bauhaus and modernism and all the art and Macintosh and all this like ¿cómo se llama? The
Art Deco or
ornament thing and the
yeah.
ornament as the center. All that I love. But my favorite period of design is the 80s, is the 70s and 80s in Italy. All this radical
Uh,
like
future,
vanguards like
futurism, is it?
Super
Future?
Studio, Memphis,
No,
Memphis and Ettore Sozzas.
not really. I've been to, yeah, I think I know what you mean. I think it's quite graphic, right?
It's
No?
very graphic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And actually, they are really anti function.
Ah,
It's more
cool.
emotion.
Ah,
It's only
cool.
emotion.
Wow.
That's so cool. I think it
Yeah.
was really like a contrast to modernism, and say, okay, no, we are like it was very postmodern and
Mhm.
kind of poetic and punk, but it's useless, which I love.
Yeah, me too. Great.
Mm.
Sorry, I
Mm.
interrupted you there. Can you go back to just the story of Paris?
Sorry?
I interrupted you. I'm very sorry. You were telling about Paris and what you were working on?
Oh
Or
yeah, so I went to study I did a master's in fashion and then
okay.
I started working. This is the 5 years that I worked. I worked in a great like it was like a studio researching for trends. I used to be a trend hunter at some point
Oh,
in my
shit.
life.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
tell us about that. I mean, so I mean, what was the magazines then that were the leading? Was it like the Face at that point? Or no, there must have been
Was
other
the
one.
face ID, but this was more like English. But in France it
France.
was like Numero and Numero was great and also self-service
Okay.
and I mean Vogue, but still a thing,
Oh,
it was
I know the
still like
music
a
ones were
thing.
great in Paris. The music scene in Paris is also there was Les.
Depeche Mode was a great
Okay.
magazine.
Oh, that was a
Depeche Mode.
magazine as well
There
as
was
the
a
band.
magazine. Yeah, yeah,
Before the band,
yeah.
probably.
I don't know if they did it. Yeah, I don't know if it was at the same time or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I used to love the Depeche Mode too, also
So you
as
were a
when I
trend
was growing
hunter.
up.
I've never heard of that before. Trend hunter. Did you say?
A trend hunter.
So
Yeah,
that mean you would
that
go
was an occupation.
on the street? Was that on the street?
Yeah, on the
And
streets and in museums and
would you just
whatever.
have
It was.
a, how would you
I
do
no, you
it?
just like go and feel what's
Mhm.
coming.
Okay.
You know,
Wow.
you have like the taste of the times. It was
Mhm.
a thing. It was a thing. There's still people doing it. Like
Okay.
now trends are not interesting anymore, but at that time, like everyone was interested in knowing what was coming, and it was very interesting from a sociological point of view
Right.
to just like smell, okay, this might be coming. And I was not, I mean, there were people specialized, for example, in colors. Okay, this is the color that's coming for next season or
Wow.
this kind of things.
Okay.
Or like the shape of the skirts. And I was less into that. I was more into how like society is changing in terms of taste, in terms of activities, like a little bit sociological, but very related to beauty, to objects, to
Mhm.
to the material world, which I am passionate about.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I love the material world.
Like Madonna or something like that.
Well, Madonna, yeah, Madonna. I used to love Madonna. No, I think the material world is like a gate to it has for me, and I know this can be like very like touchy or something, but I think materiality for me is an expression of the divine, and I think it's like they're gates, they're tangible gates to the divine. So I really explore it in that sense.
The tangible gates to the divine. You've lost me a little bit. The-
Okay,
what do you mean?
sorry,
Can
probably my
you?
English.
No, no, it's just my intelligence doesn't get there. I'm not getting the jump from material world to the tangible gates of the divine. I'm not getting that
Well,
jump.
so I think materiality is the objects and all this. I
Mhm.
mean, it's very complex, and of course,
Well,
I
like
don't know the
this rock.
whole.
But this rock could is for me is a tangible gate to the divine somehow. I think I get it now.
Yeah.
I got it. I just got it like in a second, like a
Okay,
flash.
great.
I've got it. Yeah, because I'm
Okay.
holding it and it's making me
You feel
safe.
the energy.
Gives me protection and it gives me inspiration somehow. So I suppose that is a gate to the divine, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly,
Simple as that.
exactly. But everything can be that. Everything can be
Yeah.
that. Everything
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested in that from that point of view.
Okay. So how did you jump? Did you do anything between Paris and Mallorca?
Oh, a lot of things.
Yeah.
I had a brand.
No
I
kids,
worked
right?
for
No kids.
um
No kids.
no,
I can
no
tell
kids.
from people's faces.
No kids, but like quite a few boyfriends. That made me jump from place to place. And then
Okay,
I
yeah.
just started like just surfing life. I was married in France. I married to a beautiful French guy. It just ended. We were very young when we married. And then I came to Barcelona um, for a boyfriend. And from Barcelona, I came to Mallorca following another boyfriend
Okay.
and during COVID. And
Okay.
now, and
And
I
you're not
found like
vaccinated,
really,
right? You're not vaccinated.
sorry.
You're not vaccinated.
I
Oh, you did?
vaccinated. Yeah, I
Okay.
did.
You're the
Yeah,
first person I've
I
spoken
did.
to that's vaccinated. Most people are
Come?
not. It's weird. Most people in Mallorca, they didn't really go for it.
No,
But I
I
suppose if you were
did.
in
I think
Barcelona, then you would have had, there wouldn't have been much
Barcelona was so
choice.
awful. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, I really bought into the fear. I think,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah, I
city.
get
If you're
into
in a
it.
city, you've got to do it. I suppose. I, I, I thought I was in Dea, and I had a big
You
garden,
were in Dea?
and it was the
You were
best.
living here?
Yeah, it was the best time, best couple of years of my life, actually. Really, Dea was
Of course,
incredible,
of
and there was
course.
nobody. You just had to avoid the policeman when you're going to the beach, and it was fine.
Oh my God,
But
what a
yeah,
gift.
my family disowned me. They said you can't visit, you can't see my mom, you have to get vaccinated, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I refused.
Good for you.
Well,
I
yeah,
bought
yeah,
into the
but
thing, but
yeah.
actually I was living in Barcelona. I needed to
Mhm.
travel. In order to travel to here, I needed to vaccinate. So
Of
I
course,
did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so you ended up in Mallorca, and it was a boy again. Boy. Paris,
Another boy. Yeah.
Barcelona,
Another boy.
Mallorca. Okay.
And now, and the relationship ended, and I founded this amazing, beautiful place, and I feel like home here. A
The
little bit
apartment,
like what happened in Paris.
the apartment, you mean? The apartment looks fantastic.
The studio is amazing. Yeah,
It
it's
says,
great.
so you live in your studio, you live and work in the
I
same
live
place,
in my studio. It's a studio. Yeah, it's
and
a
you had
studio.
the performance in your house as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really a studio. It's really a studio. So I like
Mhm.
hang out a lot of time here. Like it's not really a house, it's a studio. But I just live in my art.
Well done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations. It's really, I'm fascinated to see it. Maybe we can organize
Come
something.
whenever you get out of Sawyer, let me know.
Yeah, well, these events happening now. There's one this weekend. There's one last weekend in this greenhouse place. It used to be Carbon Cycle Lab. So it's a big. There was
Yeah.
an
Earth
event there
core.
last week, and there's a bunch of. I'm actually playing some vinyl there on Friday night, but that would be a good venue to do something regarding what you do. I don't know. It's very hot at the moment, actually, in the greenhouse. But
I know I had friends showing there. There was Madeleine from Astrology for Artists who did like
yeah,
you need to go and find like a thing in the
yeah, I got there
I
a bit, a
wanted to
little
go,
bit
but I
late.
was dead.
But yeah, it looked quite interesting. The art stuff. And the cinema was great as well. Anyway,
Mm, nice.
um, I've got. I didn't even ask you about any. I've got all these questions. But anyway.
Oh gosh.
But so you've been in Mallorca how long?
6 years.
6 years, and you're quite happy and settled, yeah.
Super happy.
Ah, cool.
Super,
And
super
do you
happy.
have a gallery that represents you, or
No, I'm very independent, Like probably I was thinking probably I could start to find to look for some guy, but I've always been so entrepreneur, and I just do my
Mhm.
thing. So it's difficult for me to get really into the system, and but potentially I will. I don't know. I'll see.
So you're
But
able, like someone asked me today, what do you do? Because I've been in Mallorca 20 years. I've been lucky. I don't know, it's kind of a personal question, but I have a house in Glasgow and it kind of used to pay for my life here. But it's kind of the past since COVID, it's kind of been trouble all the time, and I'm just kind of struggling to stay above water. Do you have something like that? Maybe like a house in Bogota or that
no.
or
I'm
do
super no.
How do
I
you survive?
I work as an art director and I
Ah,
do
okay.
consultancy. I do a lot of consultancy for brands in
Ah,
fashion still.
okay, I got you. Okay.
And this is what, but like my art is being half and half now. It's starting to,
Oh, good.
but I mean, the life of the artist, what can I say? You
Yeah,
know,
no
it's
one.
like you
In
struggle
Mallorca, there's a bit of a problem. I don't want to get negative about things, but it seems like the people that make art here are the ones that are the real artists. They have to work. So the art is diluted in a certain way. It's kind of soft. This was one of the questions I had. I mean, do you feel that you work comes from your head or your heart?
I think now that what I did now, it
Mhm.
really comes from my heart,
Mhm. Good.
like the voices in my head, precisely.
Yeah, okay, right.
I
You know, it's a
think
police song.
that,
Have you heard this police song called Voices in My Head? From the
well,
police
no, I heard like, yeah, no.
early police albums in Yata Manyat, but it's a great song about voices in my head. I'm not a big Sting fan, but
Okay.
it's a nice, the drumming on it's really interesting. It's called Voices in My Head. Voices inside
Okay.
my head. But your thing was
I
called,
got it from Radiohead,
oh shit,
from
oh God.
Paranoid Android.
I can't talk about Radiohead. I can't. Because of this, I've got this problem with anybody that's I don't know. What do you think about what's going on in Palestine then? Because Radiohead, I can't, and Nick Cave,
Because of Johnny Greenway,
and
of
what he
the
says, and I
bassist.
think that you shouldn't engage or play there at all. It's my personal. Do you think if someone offers you a show in Tel Aviv, for example, would you go and do it if it was like €1 million? Have you been there?
No, never been there.
Cool.
You know,
It's tricky, right?
really, like, I think even if, of course, it's super painful and it's horrible, and I was very much engaged at the beginning, like I was like in rage.
Hmm.
And the more time passes, like, you know, I'm really trying to hold paradox in life in general.
Ah,
I
paradox.
think
Hmm. So you're
I
into
think there's
duality.
always two sides of the story.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, that's not my story, you know? I could tell you about Colombia. That's my
I think there's
problem.
two
Like,
sides to the Holocaust.
sorry?
Do you think there's two sides to the Holocaust in Germany?
No, no, I mean, no, we cannot be as radical as that. No, 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 no,
Well,
there's not but
but there's two sides to the genocide.
there's not two sides to the genocide. There's two sides to the conflict. I'm not talking
Hmm.
about, I'm not saying there's any excuse into killing, but I think there's something in both sides. You know, I don't want to,
Hmm.
I don't think in good, I don't think there's, apart from the politicians and the people who are really perpetuating this, which is really evil,
Hmm.
I don't think the population that has been brainwashed is really, uh, it doesn't have their point of view from you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just
Hmm.
don't think it's a conflict that I know enough to, yeah, to take a radical position. Of course, I
Do
don't
you think it's
agree.
radical
Huh?
to say maybe ethnic cleansing is not a good idea? It's not very radical, really.
No, no, that's not what I'm saying. And
Mm.
yeah, it's not what I'm saying. I just don't think I have, yeah, I just don't think I am qualified enough
Yeah, it's different
to,
when you're brought up in a place like Glasgow or a place that's, I mean, but Bogota, you've been colonized and repressed. So you must be able to relate to
yeah,
that.
so I can talk about that, but it's like that I
Even
can talk about, and I can
even
talk to you about
Mallorca,
the guerrilla in Colombia, you know, that I can tell you about.
even tourism's a
But
form of colonialism. It's like diet colonialism. It's diet colonialism.
sorry,
Tourism is
what?
like diet colonialism in Mallorca.
Tourism
It's
is such a thing, especially what's happening here in Mallorca. It's like
cost, yeah.
eradicating
The culture has
like
been
culture.